What? Is that Brendan? Oh, sorry, I didn't even realize I was online. Basically, I just wanted to do a quick video on, as it's Epiphany, or Three Kings Day, is a celebration where Epiphany is a celebration where Jesus was baptized, but somehow it's linked together with the three kings following the star, and they call it Epiphany. Yeah, basically, Jesus got baptized in the River Jordan, and then the Holy Spirits, they all merged and became three: Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit when he got baptized in the River Jordan. So somehow Epiphany, aka the twelfth night is when the three kings were probably on their way back after visiting Jesus, the Magi, and they went past the place where Jesus will be baptized in the future, and then they sort of prophesied, and they call it the 12th night, and it was a big celebration a long time ago on this planet. Um, we call it Epiphany. So the whole point of the 12th night is probably the three kings are always associated with black people, black kings. And I've done a video before, and I don't think that there were three kings. I think there were 12 kings. And that's why we have the 12th night, because there were also knights. Yeah, because a lot of these, like 12 knights, these 12 kings had the power of prophecy. So they were doing a lot of they knew that Jesus was going to be born. They knew what date he was born. That information was passed down to them via their ancestor, Deshet. So these are the 12 kings of the world who knew that information, and they knew what the star was, and they followed the star, and all these kings of these different nations met up on the road and made their way to Jerusalem. Not Jerusalem, yeah, Jerusalem first, and then they went to Bethlehem. And so my question is, what was their conversation on the way to visit to Jesus? What were they talking about? The kingdom, whatever, and I think that so they basically got information about what was going to happen in the future at the time when they were going around, when they went to visit the Virgin Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus Messiah born on this realm. And I believe that they are also linked to the Silk Road. Somehow, if you look at the Silk Road exhibition, the Road was a gigantic trade involving the whole world. I believe these 12 kings were spread out in these Silk Road kingdoms. So one is definitely Britain, ancient Britain, 100%, because there's a big celebration of Epiphany here. We see the Welsh celebrate it, the native Brits celebrate it. They do some tradition of having mince, on a bread to represent the kings, royalty, and they have like a bird, a wren in a cage during that time. Like they do so much ritual. So this country was very much like they're into the stars, like the Druids, like they're from the same. That's why a lot of people don't seem to understand that. It just connects because all these people are connected, even though they're miles apart. They're like a secret society. They're the Druids, and the ancient Brits would have been connected with the Africans through these 12 kings. So And this is before their nation was invaded. So I believe that one of the 12 kings is definitely British, one from Afghanistan. And if you look at the silk trade, it's literally different regions where the kings are from. And they all had that knowledge, that hidden knowledge of the time when the Messiah will be coming. And I believe that the descendants of the 12 kings are now trying to keep the celebration of Epiphany alive in the old world. Like, I believe that that's the old world. But a lot of this knowledge has been sort of hidden because of the modern world that we live in. Because these people have foresight, like they've got a lot of hidden knowledge. Like these, one of them, I've got a feeling, are the Kurds. The Kurds, their religion is Zoroastrian, whatever it is. They follow the stars. The Kurdish people are very, very interesting people. That region of Iraq, one is from one definitely is from Mesopotamia. But at the time, what people don't understand is the people of Mesopotamia, there was a connection with the people of Ethiopia. A long time ago, they were the same people. And now we're seeing a revival of this ancient tradition, which is Epiphany. In Amharic, it's called Tumkat, which is the holy, baptism, the celebration of baptism, but it's linked to the three kings. We call them three kings now, but really there were 12 kings. And they were the three kings that had empires all over the world. They all have something in common. They follow the old world. There were people of color. They follow the same religion, which I think is definitely astrological, and which is the old religion of the world. They follow that. They follow pattern. They could see foresight. And then that's linked to the ancient Egyptians, because that was the same religion. The same religion of the ancient Egyptians was all over the world. It's spread out. It's ancient knowledge. And that's why you see pyramids all over the world. And I've done a video about the three kings, and it's just amazing how, the Magi, they like to change up information, say, oh, there's like one yellow Magi and then a white one and then one black Magi. No, this is like, the hidden history. I believe that it's all going to come out, and wherever they are in the world, they're going to admit who they are, and they have a lot more knowledge. They knew like the dark ages would come where all the knowledge will be hidden and the people will be living in ignorance. So yeah, I wonder what their conversation was about. I think they probably were discussing how the world will change, like in the time when, when Jesus was born, the Romans were in power, and they were afraid, like they already knew like he was born and he changed the world, but then the Romans were scared because they wanted to maintain their power, so they got themselves into the religion and twisted it to make themselves powerful, and that was wrong. Whereas the Magi, knew that Herod was a Roman supporting person, and they didn't want to go to him. He's not the real king. The Magi literally went looking for the real king, and they know who the real king is because they already had that knowledge. And they're kings, they're the special kings. They're the kings of the earth that were told that the real king, Messiah, will be born. And they already had that pre knowledge from their ancestors. It was passed down to them. The Magi know what they're talking about. The Magi are learned, druid, intelligent people. And only those selected kings from those selected lineage knew that the Messiah was born. They're not going to listen to Herod. And obviously Herod was going mad. Like, all these wise men, they call them wise, they're actually kings, came from the furthest of the earth, all the way, like, from far away to find out, where the Messiah was. And then what did Herod say? Herod said, if you find him, let me know so I can go and worship him too. Because he was disrespected in the land that he was told to lead and be a king too. that there was someone else who was a king that came, a real king born. And what did he do? He went around murdering children under the age of 2 because he was so jealous, like all males, because he just could not accept that there was a real sovereign king, the son of God, who was born on earth. The Magi knew who he was. They put down their little titles and came down to worship him and give him gifts. They knew who the Messiah was. They weren't as cocky as Herod, and Herod represents the modern world. Herod represents Rome. Herod represents capitalism. He represents the modern world we live in now. And now we're seeing the revival of Epiphany, of Tmukat, of Three Kings Day, of 12th night, you know, and it's a special time. It's a time where we need to go back to the faith and reject this world that we live in. So yeah, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that, because I'm actually getting more and more subscribers. But it just so happens that, you know, it's all connected, you know, Epiphany and the Three Kings, Magi, and, you know, Silk Road. It's all connected. Like that trade is going to be taking place. Bricks, you know, the old Silk Road trade will be revived. And that's the old Silk Road that the 12 kings had come and met in Israel, Judea at the time. And at the time when they were traveling to go to the Messiah, they would have also been given more power by the Most High, that their destination would be a lot quicker. They'll be like on the air and they'll just speed. So like the journey would be like compressed because the Most High had the power to do that. So that's why they were able to get away from Herod when they went to visit him, because he sent his soldiers to look for them, follow them, and find the Messiah that they're looking for. So they knew all this knowledge, so they went a different direction. And, you know, they had the power of protection from the Most High, that they were able to travel all over the world. It just makes our world a lot more smaller than it is, because the Magi know our world inside out. They not only know our world, they also know the planets. They know what's out there, you know, and they've got the secret knowledge. Like, this is what people don't understand. Our ancestors have been there, done that. Like, here they are making films about aliens. The Magi know all that. You know, they've seen all that, you know, and they've been there, and they're not fascinated by there. So, and that's why they just seem like there's a lot of knowledge that is hidden from the people of this world, because the people of this world will use it against people and will destroy the planet. So the Magi are, this knowledge is hidden for a reason, and the Most High will let the chosen ones unveil it soon, and as more people go and find their way in Jesus Christ and find their way in the correct path.